plays. Just so much respect for him. Just so much respect.
It's devastating. He's out there fighting, scratching, clawing the past few weeks, and just to see him go down, you don't know what's going on, and you just hope for the best. But that was definitely a gut punch.
Let's bring Adam Schefter in here for more. Hey, Adam, on Daniel Jones and this injury, what's next now for the Colts?
Laura, this is a difficult situation for Daniel Jones and the Colts. Obviously, Daniel Jones first will have to find a surgeon and schedule the surgery, which obviously will end the season. As for the Indianapolis Colts, they will have to find a replacement for Daniel Jones. The first one you would think of would be Riley Leonard, except for the fact that he banged his knee yesterday, had knee soreness today, and the Colts are uncertain about whether Riley Leonard can play Sunday at Seattle against the tough Seahawks defense. If he can't play, the only other quarterback on the roster currently is the practice squad quarterback Brett Rippon. Anthony Richardson remains on injured reserve after fracturing his orbital bone in a pregame warm-up in October, so they really are decimated at the position right now. Riley Leonard would seem to be next, and obviously you hope that Daniel Jones can get well as soon as possible. His contract was set to expire this offseason. He was set to become a free agent. Obviously, it was a difficult situation to have to go through yesterday, and a difficult situation ahead for Daniel Jones and the Colts.
And more from Adam throughout the shows. There's a lot of news flying around. Dan, you hear the report there on Riley Leonard's knee, but let's say he is healthy enough to go. Is he good enough to keep the Colts' playoff hopes alive?
I liked a lot of the things that Riley Leonard did yesterday. I thought he moved well. I thought he threw the ball well. I thought he threw the ball better yesterday than he had in college in many times. But the three major injuries are the concern. Riley Leonard still has perimeter players. Michael Pittman Jr. was really good. You saw him move the pocket, get outside, use his athleticism, find players like Alec Pierce, Tyler Warren. So is he good enough to keep them afloat for a game or two? Yes. To keep their playoff hopes alive is hard. The loss of DeForest Buckner, the loss of Sauce Gardner, now Daniel Jones. And I would say this for the Daniel Jones loss. It's not only a massive loss for this year because the playoffs are absolutely in question, it's also for next year. If anybody's been paying attention to Atlanta, Kirk Cousins, the Achilles injury 2 years ago, he did not look good last year. He looks much different as a player and moving wise this year. So it's not only impacting this year, I think it's going to very much so impact the position in Indianapolis next year.
That's a good point, although an unfortunate point. Indianapolis, by the way, lost 3 consecutive games after that 8-2 start where they looked unstoppable. That means now, as we look at the AFC South, the Jaguars are in the driver's seat to win the AFC South. Jacksonville has a 56% chance to win the division, according to ESPN Analytics, followed by Houston at 33%, while Indy, you see him down there just to 11% following that 3-game losing streak and the Jones injury. RC, let's start with Indy. How are you feeling about them the rest of the way? You heard the contacts there on the quarterback, but there's other injuries that have been key to what's happened.
Yeah,
here.
I mean, if you're the Indianapolis coach, you have to feel like someone shattered your playoff window, not that your playoff window closed. You look at early on in this season, and they didn't have really one of those quality wins. We didn't know the Denver Broncos were going to turn into who they are, and it took a penalty on a field goal attempt to get them that win as well. And so now you see the Pittsburgh Steelers, you play the Jacksonville Jaguars, the Texans, the Chiefs, all of these teams in the playoff hunts, plus the injuries, and it's just so difficult to win. And you look at what Riley Leonard was able to do. One, I'm a huge fan, right? Because I got to watch him take the Notre Dame Fighting Irish to the national championship. But if I'm somebody like Russell Wilson, I'm going to run upstairs and say, hey, man, fire me, right? Wave me right now, and maybe I can go play for this Indianapolis Colts team who has some pieces around that I can help win and get to the playoffs. Because right now, this team went all in. Sauce Gardner hurt, and now Daniel Jones, he was the reason you felt like you didn't need to have a quarterback in the first round next year.
That's interesting. They got to make a move quick for sure. Marcus, who do you like in that AFC South the rest of the way? As you see the percentage chances there, the Jaguars and Texans there at 1 and 2.
It's Houston. This defense is vintage, but not only are they vintage as far as stopping you, they turn the football over. And when you look at this defense in totality, everybody gets excited about the pressures and the sacks and the plays that they make. Find me a hole. Find me something you can attack in the Houston Texans defense. It doesn't exist. And I think, too, like we saw CJ, the thing that I liked about Houston last night, and even though it wasn't this phenomenal performance, CJ Stroud moved out of the pocket, made some critical throws, third down situations, extended some drives. And if you telling me that the Houston Texans offensive line and offense is not going to give games away, the defense going to take some. So I look at that team right now in this division as a dominant team. I think they can run it the rest of the way.
I think with those two nationally televised primetime games against the Bills and then the Chiefs, the Texans aren't going to sneak up on anybody. I think they're in the conversation. The Jaguars, though, the Jaguars play at 1 o'clock. Maybe it's not always the top crew. Yesterday we had, Ian Eagle and J.J. Watt. The Jaguars are doing it quietly, silently, and I thought Trevor Lawrence had a really interesting soundbite yesterday. Let's take a listen.
We all feel like we're a really good team and probably don't get the credit we deserve, and everybody talks about every other team, and even in our own division, it's all these other teams that are going to go, win the division and do all these things, and nobody really cares about the Jags, which is fine. It's kind of just how it is, and we'll use that as a chip on our shoulder.
And they will galvanize around that.
He's like, it's fine, it's fine.
But, he's wearing that cool leather jacket from the old school Fred Taylor Day Jaguars. I like that. But his point is this. We don't care about all you on TV. We will have what we have in this locker room, and we'll just keep on winning and being just fine.
All right, well, they might not enjoy then what I'm about to say.
Give some shine,
we give notes. Ryan, what was my note for this game?
Lawrence balled the F out.
That was it. I texted in the chat. I was like, did I just watch
that on the lower third?
Analysis, y'all. Did I just watch the best game of Trevor Lawrence's career? And I think there were some games in 2022 that were maybe similar, but I was stunned by his performance in this game. Pouring rain, by the way, unbelievably accurate, throwing downfield, making throws on the move, which has been a part of his game I always love. When he rolls to his left, he's got great natural arm talent, making good decisions, ball security in the rain on sneaks and ball handling and fakes. It was just a complete performance. As we think about the broader AFC landscape, which was the concept here, there's no perfect team, but if that offense is explosive and Brian Thomas Jr. is catching the ball the way he did in this game, they can compete with anyone.
And also, too, thank you, Trevor. About time you say something. About time you step up and say, you know what, we hear what y'all saying, but we can play here, too. And if you think about that offense did show up for 3 quarters in Houston against the Houston Texans.
That's a great point. Maybe the best of any offense against Houston.
Hey, it might have taken a few years, might have taken a few coaches, right? Maybe he finally found the right one. Liam Cohen deserves a ton of credit. The Jags have outscored their opponents by 71 points during this 4-game streak. All right, we got more coming your way. We're just getting started on the